Hey everybody, welcome. I did a bunch of polling today to figure out what we were going to do, and we actually settled on an offline Heroku app draft of Throne of Eldraine. We're going to try a Throne of Eldraine draft today on Magic the Gathering Arena, where we're going to play it on Magic the Gathering Arena, because we're a little stale on Ikoria right now, and we realized that we have never had a 8-human pod draft of Eldraine on Arena, because Eldraine predated the addition of human drafts on Arena, and Eldraine, I feel, was the set that really prompted Wizards to finally make a move on this front. I really believe that the problem child of the mill deck, basically the bots in the Eldraine days, did not early on respect the power of the mill strategy available in Throne of Eldraine, and the result was you were either milling or missing out, and it became a lot of milling mirrors, and it was really awful. It was really miserable drafting. Magic is still fun to play, right? So I was still having fun on that axis, but it really felt something missing until they finally they adjusted the bots to prioritize the mill parts so highly that then the mill deck was just completely dead. It went from utterly dominant to non-existent, all because of how they set the bots. And that just was like, it left a bad taste in all of our mouths in terms of like, what was that format really? We don't even really know, those of us who played exclusively on Arena, because of the bot situation. So after some voting, we decided today to go back in time a little bit and try Eldraine with 8 actual human beings in the Gauntlet style. So I've just grabbed 7 of my awesome viewers. They are all queued up and ready to battle, and we're going to fire off a draft, and then I'm going to play as many of them as I can in best of ones on Arena for your amusement. Let's see what happens here. Before I do, though, I want to thank my sponsor, Card Kingdom. They are there for your edge amusement as well, for everything you need for your tabletop game. You know you can get it at Card Kingdom. If you want to remember what it was to draft Throne of Eldraine against humans, well, probably out of luck right now, because it's hard to find 7 people to draft with in a room that is safe. But you can certainly get all of your Eldraine product from them, and they'd be happy to ship that out to you and line your closets with future draft happiness. But we're going to get current draft happiness here. I'm going to hop over, start the draft. I'm looking for... oh, here we go. Here's the ready check. Great. I'm going to do a ready check, and I missed this icon before. As soon as I get a ready signal from all of my upcoming opponents, we're going to hop over, kick off this draft, and reacquaint ourselves with Throne of Eldraine. Yes, everybody's ready, so let's hop to the left and kick it off. Okie doke. How do I want to do this? Let's zoom it to like this level, and then I'll hide that stuff. This should be enough, right? We got Ayara at our rare slot. Mono black is tough to pull off in this format and is not really where I want to head. Rimrock Knight is excellent. These adventure creatures in general are pretty excellent. We've also got a Fierce Witch Stalker, has an excellent green start, but I'm looking at Shepherd of Flak is okay. Adversary is maybe better than the Witch Stalker as a place to start. The threat of this drawing cards is quite real. So I think it's Adversary versus Rimrock, and if this were bots on Arena, at the end of it, I would take Rimrock, because what happened in the wake of the mill deck being killed by the bots is that Red rose up as a real strong deck in the format, and but in this case, yeah, I think Adversary is good enough. It is enough better in terms of its onboard impact than the Rimrock to take that as our starting point. Yeah, exactly. If we were on bots, I would take the Rimrock and just move towards red, but these are humans, so we're going to play it a little more normally here, and this is one of the few human Eldraine drafts I've ever done, by the way. I drafted this maybe once or twice at Adam's house, but never in an F&M context and never on Magic Online. So my actual quantity of human drafting of Throne of Eldraine is almost nothing. Hey, look. I'm not even the last person to pick. Ooh, and we get to follow with a Savvy Hunter. Savvy Hunter is one of my favorite uncommons in the format. It's really, if this gets going, it can be big trouble. And for your opponent, that is. And then we have a Curious Pear and a Rose Thorn. Either of these might wheel. That would be nice to get these on the wheel. I know, like I got, if I play D, I better win, right? You know, anybody can win anytime. Yeah, Hybrid Knight could come around, but if we're green-black, we're not going to want to run Resolute Rider. And I do like, with the adversary, going ahead and taking this Savvy Hunter. I like green-black food in this format. Fine. Yeah, just... no, well, punting is absolutely the time to punt against D because he can't be there in chat to call me on it, right? Very strong start here. I love both of these cards. We'll see if we can stick to this color pair, but try not to marry it too much here and listen to what our friends here are telling us. If I said if I play D, then I just misspoke. I'm just... I don't underestimate anybody. I try not to, obviously. But in the dark, I presume competence, because if you in the dark presume that they're worse than you, you're just going to set a trap for yourself to to fall into. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, he might like have, you could have a chat window up with the game window down and muted or whatever, and then that could work. Ah, but Razor, nobody would join him, so it wouldn't count. Run Away Together jumps out at me as a strong card in this pack. Here's a Rose Thorn, which is kind of on color, but I don't love it. Any black card? I mean, there's Foreboding Fruit is... It does do the fruit thing, the food thing. This is food based. Charm, yeah, I guess Charm Sleep is probably a little better than Run Away Together, depending on what you're trying to do, depending on what ETBs you have. Because when you can re-trigger your own ETBs, that's pretty nice. That being said, yeah, you could take the Acolyte to stay on color. I just really don't... This card has not... It ends up playing to me mostly like a 2-3 for 3. I mean, yeah, it can accelerate. I really don't like Acolyte much is the thing. I think we should take Charm Sleep and stay open. Oh, is there a Rose? Oh, yeah. You like the Rose Thorn, Tron, now? I mean... I could pull this one. I actually have the time. I think Charm Sleep is the best card, but Rose Thorn keeps us on track with a possible splash. I can send this to chat for a Rose or Sleep pick. Ooh, it looks like I didn't give it... we are actually... The poll won't end before I need to pick, but I'll try and keep an eye on it. Oh yeah, you can say Fruit too if you want. That's a fair pick. Looks pretty mixed. I'll keep it on Sleep for now. Now let's see where we're at. Oh wow, some red signals here with both Red Cap, Melee, and Shield Breaker being pretty quality. This is a great card. If you happen to hit red, great, but you can usually give up a land to deal 4. So tiny, yeah, if we want to follow the charm sleep signal, you take a so tiny. This rider is just okay. These are signally too, though, so I'll take the tiny. But yeah, we haven't seen any black except this Savvy Hunter. We haven't seen really any good mono black at all, so we're going to have to figure out a new plan. And to that end, yeah, that's true. I think if we're trying to really understand our lane and understand what these fellow drafters are telling us, we should take the red card here. But keep in mind that, yeah, I'm still trying to understand. I'm trying to draft the hard way here and just take what I think is the best card as I try to understand what my neighbors to the right are telling me. I get it, Hammer, but I'm with whoever said that tiny without mill is kind of whatever. That's what I agree with that. That was the sentiment that got me to this card. Zori, I was fine with it. I found this to be a good card even when I was not playing against red opponents. That's the thing. It was excellent against red, obviously, but it was good against non-red. What is going on here, though? I'm not really doing a foretold thing. We could take the Apprentice in case we do end up with the mill deck. It's not impossible. We just haven't seen the support for it yet. But if blue is open and those runaway togethers come around, we could back into the mill deck. This is hardly the best card here. We could take like a Ginger Brute, but I don't love the... I've never really loved the Brute. Everybody else has been higher on the Brute in this format than I've ever been. And I kind of actually like the Apprentice. With the blue signals we've seen, I think I'd rather take the Apprentice and hedge towards that deck possibly coming together here. I don't think Brute is bad, but I don't think Brute is great. Right. I like what Razor said. Like what I said about Brute throughout the format was that I like playing. I have a lot of decks with Ginger Brutes in them, but it really has to be because I'm in a hyper low down aggro plan, or I'm intending to raise the power of the Brute. If the Brute is never intended to be greater than 1 power, I don't love it. But if you're looking to equip it up or counter it up or whatever, it gets a lot more interesting to me. Now here's a So Tiny again. Unexplained Vision is still here. This ended up being a lot worse than I figured it would be. But we're going to listen to this blue signal now and take the So Tiny. I think we're going to end up pivoting to blue. And then we'll figure out where our second color is. The thing is, like, it's not like this is amazing or that this is amazing, but it's clear that the blue has been flowing. So we want to try and secure that. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. We can pick up an Oko. Wouldn't kick Oko out of bed for eating crackers. Yeah, Deacon, I didn't mention the tree folk, but I did. But I saw it too. It was like, yeah, there's an actual good green card, but it still felt pretty light. But we'll keep it. We could end up green blue, although it's not really a color pair I remember doing much in this format. Sage is good, right? It's not amazing again, but this is fine. I think it's certainly suggesting we have found our lane, right? Yeah, Simic Splash goodness is something we could end up doing potentially if those Acolytes wheel. Be really interesting to see what wheels from this first pack here. Yeah, Pajaman, we did a bunch of polls to figure out what to do today and landed on trying out a human Eldraine draft. I'm loving it, Frank. This feels great. I've been a bit agonized with my Ikoria of late, and not even necessarily from results. I mean, I did have a multi-day chunk of where results were rough, but it hasn't even been about results. It's just been about what am I doing? Where am I? A little more. Sleazy Griffin is okay. We're not really doing the draw second though, and a 2/4 flying for 5 is ugh. But Corridor Monitor also not great, but it's a 2, and we don't have any 2s yet, and sometimes you just need to fill that curve. So I'm going to take the Monitor. Yeah, it does have its role against low down aggro, right? 1/4 on 2 is quite the brick wall for some decks. Sanctuary is of interest to me, but Paladin even more. I think blue has been so light, we could just, blue has been so open that we can lean into that a little bit. Although Mystic Sanctuary is kind of the same philosophy, except it's on a land, so you kind of get a free spell, so to speak. But I think I'm going to move in on the Paladin here. This is really interesting. Our picks went 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's been blue cards ever since. Hey, look, the Runaway Together came back. Curious Pair did as well, and there was a Rosethorn Acolyte in this pack that did not come back, so that's worth noting. But I believe Acolyte and Pair were like the only green cards, so only one other person has plucked a green card from this pack. But this is kind of what we want if we head toward, towards the ETB creatures doing the mill thing. Or of course but it's just good even if you're not doing mill. This is just a powerful effect. Merfolk jumps out because it's blue. I've played this before. It's not particularly good, but it does do a job. Like if our plan for the deck is our 4 Vantress Paladins attack for the win, then a Merfolk as a 3/2 blocker on 2 doesn't suck, right? I mean, so you look at this activation and it's like, it's so hard. It's like, okay, but a 3/2 defender for 2 does some work. And our only other options being like the Blood Haze and like the Skull Knocker, I just don't think those are appealing enough to not just at least take something, because we could, this format supports monocolored decks if you get the density, but generally to do monocolored stuff, you're going to need to run things like Merfolk to fill out curves. But Tome Raider still being here is excellent as well, right? So I think we've definitely found our main color. What are we doing besides this? We could go, maybe do red blue spells, red blue draw on your, draw twice. Fruit, pretty easy pickup here. That was almost my pick out of this pack the first time around. Foreboding Fruit, not usually the type of card you want to pair with blue, because ostensibly blue is doing the card draw job for you. You don't need black for that, but we'll see. Wicked Guardian is playable. You know, we have if this is going to be a defensive deck, we can hit a corridor monitor with 2 damage and draw the card in that spot. Outlaw's Merriment is pretty bomby, but we are nowhere near that, right? Like, just nowhere near it. We got another Charmed Sleep down there. Probably just want Sir Eleonora here. And then maybe, well, we'll see what we wheel on the blue front. Other non-blue cards here that appeal to me are Out Muscle. Obviously the Merriment, but again, we're not really there. Barge In is a playable trick. Treefolk is playable. Tactician, very good. There's a lot of good cards in this pack that aren't blue, but Eleonora is strong and directly, squarely in our colors. So we're just going to start there and continue to figure out where to pivot for a second color if we even need it. Maybe we wheel the broom and get out of this pack with mono picks. You'd really pivot to Boros from here, or are you just joking? I just didn't see how we could get to Outlaw's Merriment from where we're at. I mean, maybe if it were like red, white, I'd be more interested, because I think blue, red, splash the white in Merriment would be more realistic, but I really don't see prioritizing a white spell from this particular deck. But we'll see. Here I like, well, we have a Beanstalk Giant. If we want to head in the green-blue, base green-blue fixing direction. We have Out Muscle if we just want to fight in the green direction. Reeve Soul is a powerful magic card. Destroy target creature with power 3 or less. That's a lot of creatures. Right? What do you think? Yeah, I'm kind of on Giant. It sets us up for pivoting to a lot of different additional colors. Yeah, we could splash the Hunter, although, man, with where we're headed, like, I really just want to kind of be heavy blue, but there's just not that here, right? So it's Reeve. I think for me, it's Reeve Soul or Beanstalk, with Beanstalk narrowly edging out Muscle as the green pick. So let's take the Giant and see if that makes us flexible enough to, because I like a Beanstalk Giant, an Adversary, splash a Hunter. That's all doable in this. Another Hunter we could take, but there's another Beanstalk Giant. There's also another Out Muscle. Blue seems pretty dry here, but it could just be the packs. Do you like Out Muscle number 1 or Giant number 2? I think I'm still on Giant number 2, and we can still, and then we can splash anything, so we can splash whatever, black removal we find and stuff. Really, it makes this so consistent. Yeah, if blue doesn't flow this way, it should at least flow the other way, right? The thing about, like, putting a neighbor into blue or whatever, if the packs are dense enough with quality, if a given pack is dense enough with the quality blue cards, we should still, like, you can really get lucky sometimes, is where I'm getting at. Like, even if you've put your direct left neighbor into the color you're in, if the packs happen to have good second best cards, you can still end up fine in pack 2. But right now it just feels like probably we put someone in blue, or I wouldn't say we did, like the draft, us taking correct picks probably led somebody to end up in blue nearby that is probably affecting the quality of blue in our second pack here. Yeah, I'll say, look at this. No blue. But again, there's not even that many cards. So is it like, did every neighbor to our left take blue cards? We take another corridor monitor. I don't want to tall as a beanstalk. Do we have, or we want to splash any of this quote removal? None of it, we're not splashing a fling. Yeah, this is a really sad pick, but I don't see what else we can take here. We're not, cabin's not going to do anything for us. We're still going to be heavy blue. Oop. This right here, I just clicked Hat's link. I'm not trying to snipe. I'm not trying to snipe Flipperoo's draft. I'm trying to remind myself to go and follow Flipperoo if Flipperoo streams. Cryptic comments from Hat. Witching Well is a nice blue card to still be in the pack. So this is what I mean. Like with Charm Sleep and Witching Well both in the pack, it just makes me think the packs were blue light. There's a Lucky Clover. Are we doing anything with that? Really, we don't do anything with that right now. So Lucky Clover is not for us. Well, Deacon, if he doesn't trigger anything, what are you doing with it, right? Oh, sorry, Beanstalk Giant, right. I was looking up here and didn't really glance down at the Giant. Are the Giants worth a Clover, though? I'm thinking probably not, and we just take removal or card draw. Yeah, more sleep is fine. Yeah, Champion of Wits. Hannah wants the Clover for the Giant ramp. Hannah, if we had more going on with adventure, I'd be down, but I don't think that just the two Giants are enough to be running a Clover. Because you get this out on 2 and then your Giants aren't in hand, and then you're like, what is this doing in my deck? Witchstalker, better than Sleep, maybe, but I don't know how heavy green we are. Maybe it is Witchstalker. All right, I'm going to put it on Witchstalker, although we need some interaction too. I mean, we do have 1 sleep. But, and I'm trying to be heavy blue, but this is, I think you're right that Witchstalker is good enough to try there. Wow, look, you got the back-to-back, you got the Innkeeper and the Clover going around. Here's another Corridor Monitor, another Sage of the Falls. But now I will hedge on Innkeeper. Maybe we end up with enough stuff from here that we can play it. Right now, we're not even playing this. Sorry, not playing him, but because I don't think the Giants are enough. But as we get heavier into green here, green has a lot of adventure creatures, so we could end up running this. Unexplained Vision. I wanted one of these, so happy to pick one of these up here. I don't think we're running that at this point, or this. Maybe we run that. Probably not running that. I mean, this is not great. Right now, it's effectively a colorless 4/4 for 4. Didn't Say Please is a good card for blue as well. But I'm going to take the beefy uncommon. If we trigger it, great. But I'm willing to run a 4 generic mana 4/4. Yeah, we cast those giants. We actually get there on it. Here we go. Tree Folk. I'm gonna let this Dispute go by and this Broom go by, and take a Tree Folk to help us maybe play this Innkeeper. This is the kind of thing that makes me want to play Ginger Brutes if I have a couple of these. Numenor, there are often magic clubs at your local middle school and high school, and you can donate cards to high school and middle school magic clubs. There are often youth centers in your region that would happily take on donated magic cards. If you can, try to give combinations of your spares that you don't really want and lands. Like give them basic lands so people can actually make a deck with the stuff you give. Curious Pair puts us on a continued path to maybe playing the Innkeeper and making Hannah look right in potentially having picked up that lucky Clover. But come on, at the time we had just the two, and I wasn't ready to do that. But we will take a pair here over the Scavengers. Yeah, late Tower. We could take the Tower as a splash too. But now with the Snapper, I don't care if we splash per se. I want to make sure we get Snappers out on curve, and I think Curious Pair is fine. Hunter comes back. Well, we're splashing a little black then, okay? Lastly, on getting rid of unwanted commons and uncommon, any chaff you don't want around, you can just donate it to Goodwill, your local charity-driven thrift store, and they will turn around and make little bundles of magic cards to sell in their thrift stores. Not playing a quarry, but I'm not gonna. I guess I can gank Paladin is playable in heavy red. I guess I'll take the Wolf's Quarry. There are some weird worlds in which you would play this in a food-based deck. The trouble is you can't make them turn your pigs into food. So I'm gonna cut it. I doubt we're playing it. And Return to Nature here is definitely main deckable in this format. That's my recollection, right? Got a green card in the upper left. That's generally a good sign. I'm going to reserve it here, but check out what's going on. No blue in the pack to speak of. But Return of the Wild Speaker says, draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures you control, or non-human creatures you control get +3/+3 until end of turn. Yeah, it was definitely main deckable in Theros. No question this was main deckable in Theros, but I do remember it having enough targets here as well, like with your Charm Sleeps and everything. Anyway, Paladin is great, especially if you can get the 3 green. But I'm going to go with the Speaker. I think we have enough non-humans here. I mean, this is a human, non. I guess there's a lot of humans here, though. Yeah, actually, now that I've counted the human, I thought we have more humans than I thought we did. So maybe we are on Paladin, especially with Snapper. I think I'm going to take Paladin. I think our human count is just higher than I thought with the hunters we're splashing. Vantress Paladin is a human knight. You know, there's just a lot of humans around these parts. Eleonora is a human. So yeah, let's go with the Paladin. Yes, if that rare doesn't come back, we can remember that we need to play around non-humans suddenly getting +3/+3 out of nowhere if Oppo has that card. We are splashing black. That makes me want to grab an order. Rosethorn is all right. There's another Vantress Paladin. We could take Drown in the Lock on the splash as well, but I think we just take order since we're on the splash. Drown is also possible because this is something if we draw this late, it's good late, so also splashable. Interesting. Maybe we'll poll this one. I think it's pretty close. Let's do a 40-second poll of Drown, order, and let me see if there's anything else we're considering. I mean, you could make an argument for the Halberd, but I don't think this is a Halberd deck, and I don't think we're going to take the Paladin here either. So yeah, I think it's one of these two black splashes. And it's not the broom here, right? So Drown or order, what do you think? Removal, which we don't have a ton of, or a nice 2-for-1? One thing that order can do is we cast the Beanstalk Giant Adventure on 3, and then we order it back on 4. Cast the we alter fate, bring back our giant, cast Order of Midnight, and then on 5 you can re-ramp with the giant, and then oh no, never mind. You cast this and it goes to exile. That doesn't work. Never mind. Goes into exile. Order is the winner. Cow won. Very nice. Yeah, I just was screwing that up in my head. I got excited for a sec, but then it doesn't work that way. Hello, Splash. This black splash is getting a little more severe, but we're not passing a Lockmere Serpent. Getting a little away from a splash, though. If we take too much more black, we may pivot back to black, green, splash, blue somehow. I don't know. Yeah, now suddenly the rose thorns that I was bashing before are looking much nicer right now. I would love a rose thorn, actually. Oh yeah, the black splash is good. It's just that to support it now, I'm really thinking about how we actually support this. It's wonderful to have a pile of powerful cards, but you do need to cast and resolve them. Yep, we have 2 giants. It's a great start, but 2 giants and 1 swamp. Like, here's the thing. I would like to play 1 swamp. And right now, 2 giants and 1 swamp is not my favorite splash level for a 4-card splash. Yeah, we can look for eggs. This is a powerful effect, but we are not black enough in our cards to consider that. So maybe Scavengers, although as observed, we're a little top heavy, although with a Snapper, that's okay. And also, it seems like we're top heavy, but let's put these where they belong. That might help make you feel a little better about where we're at. You can even put this here, right? Once you do that, you see, oh, we've got 4 5s and a 6. It's not that bad. that being said, Paladin or Scavengers? Kind of like Scavengers, first Scavengers. Yeah, I kind of don't want to play any of this. We're not, but we're making enough food that the Scavengers is going to probably get there on the bounce. So I'm going to take it on the possibility that we play that, but I'm not loving any of this. Agreed. But the double ramp from the Giant, I think, is going to be quite real. Any game where we can get this going on turn 3 is going to be a powerful game for us, I think. Maybe not. That's why ultimately I didn't go this direction. Earlier on, when I thought we were it looks like we were going to be almost at the end of pack 1, nearly mono blue. I thought these would be good in our deck, but now it's looking like, yeah, almost like cuttable. Magic Mirror gets it's an on color mythic, but it is not for us. Man, are we just on an opt here? Again, I'm down with Halberd in the right spots, but I just don't think this is it. You just need you want to get really low down with Ginger Brutes and the common 1 mana green 1/1 that becomes a 2/2 in combat. So without those, I think we just settle for a really boring opt that is quite cuttable. Into the story is some real card draw. It's not easy to make it 4 mana in this deck. We could just take a sleep. Since we do have an unexplained vision already, and so it's not like we have no card draw. Yeah, we have enough card draw going on. I think we just want more interaction, so we'll take that sleep. Jousting Dummy is playable but unexciting, but given that nothing in here is green or blue or something we want to splash, we'll take the dummy and keep it in mind. Probably just want quarter monitors, though, over dummies, given that we're trying to make it to our nice top end. Right, Razor? I don't know. Like, maybe we put multiple people into blue, and then suddenly it went from wide open to shop is closed. Certainly, might just be the packs, though. It was a pretty late sleep, right? Yeah, looks like we're not going to get that Acolyte we were hoping to now pick up. I did not prioritize it early, and I think correctly. I don't prioritize them early, but now it would have been a pretty reasonable place to end. Another 5. I think another 5. Is this? It's just a spell. Yeah, again, we have card draw, so I'm going to take that 5 and consider it. Might be a little too thick here, though. Yeah, we're going to have to make a lot of cuts. So probably can't play 2 Sages anyway. Maybe even don't want 2 Hunters, just splash the 1. That's not good enough. We'll take another opt and probably not play either. I think we got there on Innkeeper. I think we just have enough to justify that. Probably cutting this Merfolk. I don't think we're running away together, actually. Well, Order leaps out as rough, but this is a late game card to me. This is about the Alter Fate as much as anything. Oop. Sorcerer's Broom to fill out 2s is better than that Jousting Dummy. We'll seriously consider that. None of these are playable for us. What do we not want Oppo to have? Probably Malevolent Noble. Tempting Witch. Not super tempting for us, but we'll cut it. And same with the Skewer. All right, gang. I am going to leave this up for you to look at. I need to take a quick bio break mid-draft here, but I'll be right back to build this deck with you, okay? Hi, everybody. Thanks for waiting. We're at 25 cards in the deck, so need a couple more cuts. Not sure I want to cut a 2-drop. I guess we could cut the Return to Nature just to... try and... it's useful, though. It's interaction. Yeah, we could trim down the... we could trim the Hunter and the Scavengers. That's one suggestion. Scavengers, I like the Scavengers, though. Although we are in green and we have some beef. I guess we have the beef covered, so I can give that up. And if we do that, then we're kind of there. Just do this. Then it's a much more manageable splash of Serpent and Order. Sage is fine. Fine enough, I think. Could consider that Run Away Together. That does bounce Order. Like we could redo Order, redo Tree Folk. There might be enough going on here to do some running away together. I don't really think we really want to bounce Beanstalk Giants, though, right? We could split it, a Merfolk and a Monitor. Yeah, Merfolk trades with more, but Monitor brick walls more. We could split it. They're fairly interchangeable in terms of their job. They both have the same job. Come down on 2 and keep us from dying. Okay. So let's export this and call it good. Do we like, we got 917. I don't think we want more 881. Let's export that and hop over to deck building. Hey GY, I'll add you right now I'll friend you right now. D, you can go second. Media wanted to go first because of time zone stuff, but you're in the same spot, so I'm gonna go Media into Dionysus as the combatant order here to start. Okay. Oops, I gotta go home. All right, too much stuff. Oh, it worked though, right? Robert has asked for third. That's fine by me. Just trying to make it all work and accommodate as best we can to get as much action as we can. Let's see. I know we had somebody mentioned Theros lands today, and then Tron, you had sleeves, right? Did you pick what sleeves, Tron? Anybody who claims stuff, speak now or forever, etc. And you can watch the games you're not in, GY. That's fine. This is all fun, you know. If this were a Pro Tour, we'd take greater measures, but no biggie if watching the games give you some slight advantage or something. So, sleeves. Oh, speaking of sleeves, there's something for that later. I think I'm gonna hold that till tomorrow, though, Tron. Let me go with. Better do Eldraine sleeves since we're doing Eldraine. And our box is going to be Beanstalk Giant, and we have giant ambitions with this one. All right. Media, what is your handle? Or Media, why don't you challenge me, maybe? Let's see. Maybe I can figure it out from the draft. Media. Whoop. And see, this is why everybody thank Mama and Nantuko right now. This pause right here, this kind of awkward, where's the opponent? What's going on? This is what Mama and Nan and my awesome mods make not a thing on Fridays. But we accept a little hiccups here to do it midweek, no big deal. But Media, if you're not around, I'm just gonna battle D then. All right. I don't know where you are, Media. I'm going to tackle our friend Dionysus first. I did. I read one before. I hear Media has asked to go early, time zone thing. I have read that. Okay, Jedi Dawn. Well, don't worry, Media. I'll dispatch D quickly, and then we'll get to you. He says, guaranteeing himself to get blown out by D. Ah, overconfidence, pride before the fall, etc. This looks good, though. Innkeeper, sure. We'll drop the Keeper. It somewhat puts him at risk, but I don't want to wait because right now our ability to trigger the Innkeeper is based on our ability to cast a 6-drop and a 7-drop, so it's not like we're going to go, aha, we held the Innkeeper, and now I'm going to drop the Innkeeper and play my 6-drop on the same turn, right? So we're just going to put Innkeeper at risk. Get our splash. I wasn't too, like, mega aggro would be rough, but we did have a turn 3 removal spell if D happened to get off to an Insano start. We could. So now the question is, are you willing to risk Oaken Boon on an Edgewall Innkeeper? And this is where I wish I remembered the instant speed removal in this set. Cast Order. Well, we don't know. If D has an instant here, then I just can't remember if there's anything. I don't remember. I don't think there is. My gut says there's the format really starts its removal at 4, right? So I'm going to go for it. The main thing, like, we could still lose the Innkeeper. It looks like we are going to here. But the main thing is I didn't want... if D had been able to kill the Innkeeper out from underneath the Oaken Boon, then we don't get the Tree Folk. And that was what I found, you know, that was unacceptable. Now, we're going to get fancy, though. Well, we could... Don't have 2 black for it, but we could... I can play the Tree Folk, but another move we have here is order back the edge wall and then cast the edge wall, and then next turn we get to start drawing off. So, oh, here, sorry, I need to be here. My bad. So that's my question. He's not even trash talking. He's just telling Brazil stories. Don't worry about it. Let's see. So anyway, that's my question. Are we going for the Order Innkeeper player? Just going to get our beats on. I think it's maybe fancy play syndrome to go for the beats, but also... Like, a thing to note here is that D does have a lot of cards left, so going for the extra value could produce a long game advantage. But let's go. Let's put him. Let's just go. Let's get big. Let's put him to the test. If this gets destroyed, I think I'll take the Innkeeper line from here, especially if we don't draw a land. But we can still do the Innkeeper line, just declining to get a card specifically from Tree Folk. And we did know he had the Foulmire, but we can Charmed Sleep that. And in fact, I think that's what I like about the next turn. We can Charmed Sleep the Foulmire, Alter Fate the Innkeeper, and then play the Innkeeper. Or we could go Beanstalk Giant. But again, here I like doing what I described. Let's tap Foulmire. Send in the Clown. Yeah, we'll totally charm this to sleep as well, but just not yet. And next turn we can play the Order to trigger the Innkeeper and charm the Rider. And then land the Beanstalk after that. Or maybe we just go for Beanstalk. This is a pretty nice thing to have on board. But I do, and both of these get value from Innkeeper. Oh yeah, sorry. Cardboard is open. Is it working for some? Looks like it's working for some. Yeah, I could have held the Innkeeper, but then they don't reave the Order. You know, again, if Innkeeper's going to be a lightning rod, that's okay. And I also don't care about one turn of lifelink. If D wants to spend mana to climb back a little bit above 9, I'm okay with that too. Chokes up a little bit of mana for the turn. How noble. All right, well, now we have a coolish turn here of order. We could sleep, but you know, we're gonna have a big snapper. Maybe we leave the tree folk back, but you can still get the lifelink. Yeah, commander, death touch. So as it stands, we'd be trading off the tree folk for the commander, unless we sleep that. I'd rather sleep the Resolute Rider because the ongoing, well, it's a lot of mana to do it. So there is that. Yeah, we can start with order for the draw. We know we're going to do that, right? So let's do that and see what we get. That's pretty cool. I think it's true that we're going to have to order this rider, or sleep the rider. So I'm going to do that here, and then, or let's offer the tree folk. All right, we were expecting that trade. Now it's whether or not we want to sleep the rider to stop the lifelink for a little bit, or just drop the Thunderous Snapper to set up next turn. Trouble with Snapper is that we really do need to Charm Sleep like next turn if we don't do it this turn, and if we're going to do that, then we don't really have, we're not going to trigger the Snapper next turn. But that being said, like I'm wondering if the choice is to play the adversary instead of the snapper if we're going to play a creature. But yeah, if we just sleep now, if we sleep now and we draw a land, especially, or wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, if we find a land, we get snapper adversary next turn. It walls the rider, but it also walls us. Anyway, I'm going to do this now. No, adversary costs 4. D would need to play a green permanent for it to cost 2, and that does not look like it's going to happen over here. Looks like the noble's going to eat some dinner. Let them eat, peasants. All right, there's our land. So I am going to do Snapper Adversary, and then we'll drop Giant next turn. Well, D's putting a big force out there, but hopefully Beanstalk draw 2 It's going to be good, at least on the ground on D. Maybe this order just gets there from here. We'll see. Still no blocks here. I mean, we could just trade off the adversary. And maybe that's good enough of a trade. I mean, we're going to draw. We don't need to draw more. It's not going to get through, right? All right, that's fine. Let's make the trade. I trade you. Oh, hello. Maybe just do this. Yeah, that Lockmere presents lethal next turn with the order attack. Oh, it has flash. Sorry, I don't play this card, so this is like I've never had this card. Should we try and get him? Yeah, I can't counter it. Thanks. Although it's a little bit telegraphed, yes. Why didn't Ryan play the 8/8? It's possible I'm just supposed to do this at end of turn. I may be being greedy here by even trying to get this, because we can do a double block here to take it out, but I probably should have... I wasn't sorcery speed, so it doesn't matter. But now I wonder... Yeah, we still take it. Now, let's see, what can we get two of? And this is fine, we can just return this, right? Exile, again, I've never played this card before, I've wanted to. Exile 5 target cards from an opponent's graveyard, return from your graveyard to your hand, and that's a sorcery. So we can go return this to hand and play a Paladin. And Paladin still draws a card off Snapper. So let's do that. There we go. That's what I want. Still don't want to send the Snapper because we're still getting value out of it, and it's holding off the two small things. All the riders for D. That's two of those. but should be able to even beat Lifelink Rider with unblockable Serpents. A lot we can do here too. I mean, I think Beanstalk just keeps being not the right play. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Although with 9, we could make it... yeah, 9 is a little awkward. Can't really two-spell any of this. So really, I'll just go with Lockmere again. And this... can't be blocked, power 2 or less, so can't block, can't block. Just the unblockable, though. We have falls, so we could be looting away lands or whatever, but we're so heavy here, I want to play our lands. We have plenty to do with them. And also makes the giant bigger for what that's worth. It doesn't matter much, though. Giant is not really a factor because it doesn't have evasion. We're going to focus on our evasive stuff and really force D here to spend his turn gaining life from the Resolute Rider or dying to an attack with an unblockable Serpent and the Order. Because right now, 7 plus 2 is, as you can see, greater than 8. But if D can get himself up to 12, then we don't get him next turn. But barring a removal draw or something to contain our threats, surviving a turn is not going to be winning the game. We're split even on islands, forests, so this 7 forest to 2 island thing is a little bit weird, especially when we're trying to get there with Serpent. Here, though, we could... let's see, let's start with seeing... I think we just win. Let's make him have something to keep us from winning. You'd think he'd want to head to his pasta. No reach. Wow, even just after a draft and one game here, I'm really enjoying this as an Ikoria palate cleanser. I don't know about you all, but there's a normalcy to what's going on here that that I am feeling like that I am enjoying. Yeah. Hold on now. Gargantuan has the challenge ready, but Robert, I'm going to try and get Media here. What do we say Media's handle was? I forget. Jedi Dawn. Right. You'll be up next after that, Robert. Hey, Magic. Thanks for the host. Yes, it is the official MTG channel. It's kind of funny because it only ever shows one viewer or whatever, but that's, I assume, because it's like there was nothing on there right now, and they fired it up or whatever. So another uneasy keep. We do have the giant to unlock our hand, or unlock the spells in our hand, and if we find something to return to nature, that's fine. But I'm gonna keep this. All right, blue is nice as well. We can consider getting our splash swamp. And with that, let's see. I guess we got to. I'm gonna not worry about the serpent right now. Well, maybe I should. If I go for the serpent, we can't sleep whatever Jedi does next, and if and Boros is quite aggressive, so we may need to set ourselves up to be able to sleep and hold off for the moment on the serpent. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Any land and we just get there. All right, we can take it. Yeah, we got to go for the serpent. I think you're right. We also have a lot of natural draws to islands, but this just sets us up to be able to serpent out in just a couple turns here, and that's too good. We can also vision next turn to draw a bunch. Raider to draw a little. Kind of like Raider to draw a little because it's not like... And we have a plan. We just need one more land to get to the serpent, and Raider does threaten the shield breaker. Let's do this. Well, we didn't have the... whoa, hello. I haven't played Legends of Runeterra yet. I was saying I really oughta. I have friends who worked on the game, but I just haven't played it yet. Wow, that is hyper aggro Media, but Media knows what's up, so I'm sure this is all part of the plan. Land me, please. No land, but another reasonable draw, barring a land. We could go Unexplained Vision to try and just get the land now, but we can also go Curious Pair, make food, make the Curious Pair, make a Corridor Monitor, and that blocks all this pretty well, so let's just do that. And it sets us up to get some life back on the food. I will put a monitor... there's the Outlaw's Merriment we passed. But look what we got. We found our land to get the serpent, but let's say a big NO to Merriment. Yeah, well, Mama, given my complete lack of knowledge of the game, we could totally do a Runeterra experience where it was me learning, complete, no preconceptions or anything, just sitting down and letting the game teach it to me. Nothing really to do with food, so we're gonna have a snack before we untap. If we play this land and don't play the giant, we tip our hand that we're holding a serpent, but they're not attacking anyway. That being said, we almost want a vision. I'm going to play the land and telegraph and pass. Although I could just play the giant. Let's, you know, would also say, fine, solve the giant. Yeah, let's just do the giant. You're right. Maybe they have a trapped in the tower or whatever, but we'd much rather have trapped in the tower on the giant than our serpent. Even it would take a turn, right? But we would show them, if the first major thing we show Media is our serpent, they're going to use all their removal on that. And we'd rather have them use it on that. All right. The hyper aggro continues. Now, we could do the serpent thing, but I'm starting with... Oh, we can't charm. We might have to vision. We just witch stalk, though. That's going to get us food we can eat, right? So, I'm down with even sending the pair as well. Since we are coming down with a Witch Stalker. So yeah, I'm willing to send in... I want to keep Quarter Monitor back, but... I think I'll change my title to better describe what's going on here. Sorry, Media. Let's see, where are we? Attacking Guide Mother, right on. Sir, all in. Charming, but no second island. Let's go digging. Well, we could Serpent now, too. I really want more island, but Serpent is some realness. I'm going to send in the giant, try to encourage the attack, and try and block with the serpent. Oh yeah, overlay is way off, right? Thank you. We are currently 1-0. And we are not playing Ico. We're on Eld versus Chat. Again, maybe I'm unnecessarily exposing this to... Okay, I guess I'm not. There was an argument there for figuring out how to survive this without playing the serpent so that we could just drop the serpent and win. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm exposing my serpent to too much sorcery speed risk. We got the win, but I don't know if we played it right. Gargantuan had next G, but you can be after that if you want. Sounds like KR Nell. Is that how you want your name pronounced? I don't know. I want to say Dr. Nell, but it's Coctor Nell. KR Nell, looks like you can slide in after Colonel. Okay, got it. Thank you. I'm on it. Colonel, you're on after GY, okay? Huh. Hello. There it is. Gargantuan challenge. I think it may have messed up because it had our previous challenge in or something like that. I don't know. Oh, I got D too, right? So we're, wait, are we, no, we're 2-0. We're 2-0 is where we're at. Yeah. D is noted. Little light on mana here. We could really get hosed if we don't find our way to 4. And we're, you know, we're a ways off. You could really make an argument to mulligan this, but I'm greedy.
Point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed is good.
I think this is actually probably a mulligan. I think you're right. I'm just being intentionally greedy. And also it's because it's casual and fun times or whatever, but I think if this were like day 2 of GP, I would mulligan that. And that's unfortunate. That was just an unlucky mole, right? And that was perfect. Or unlucky mill, I mean. Well, we didn't see any Secret Keepers. I mean, if one person ends up in the mill deck every once in a while against humans, that's all right. That's just life, you know, that's life happening. Certainly, Robert looks to be the one who thwarted our heavy blue plans. All right. Boy, if we find a land on top, we'll be super happy. And again, nothing to do with the food but eat it, so that's what we're going to do here. All right, we got there. What do we want? Well, we only have 2 choices, Thunderous Snapper or Occam Adversary. We're going to take Snapper. Attacks, I mean, this attacks through this as well. But with another land, we can cast Vision or Falls. Probably Falls, and then get extra value out of the Snapper. Both of them attack through, both of them set us up. Both of them attack through, and both of them set us up to draw cards, but Snapper does more damage, so. Let's see, if we find a land, we play land, and we have 5 cards. We play the Vision, we go to 4 cards. We draw 3, and then we draw 1 off the Snapper. So actually Vision off of a land fills up our hand and makes us discard. So I'm going to play Sage of the Falls if we find a land, and I will play the Adversary if we don't find a better spell. Robert may be trying to decide whether he is aggro or defensive here. Is he sending the Paladin or playing another creature that can double block a Snapper with the Paladin, right? That's what I'm guessing he's on, but let's see what results from his play. Apparently. Which is also so ironic because Robert's the one who lovingly and jokingly teases me about how long it can take me to get going to draft in the morning. Whoa. That's a card.
With the courage to apply it. here and charge.
Well, that's bold. If we can find us, like, if we found like a sleep and could sleep the Secret Keeper, we could work down the Scions a bit. Didn't happen though, so we're gonna follow the plan. Only really one thing to do here is attack the Scion, the Royal Scions, and try and go for the adversary. The blowout play here that if Robert does, we salute and probably lose, is if he hits us with the runaway together here. If Robert runs away, blocks, lets the Scion take one from the Curious Pair, blocks with the Secret Keeper, and then sends our, actually they block the pair and send Snapper and Keeper back to hands, and then I think we're in like serious trouble. So we're gonna find out. That's my worry. Runaway together would be a great play from Robert here, and I'm kind of expecting it, but I'm expecting it in that Magic player way. He didn't have it, but like I try to set myself up for expecting the worst so that when it happens, I'm like, okay, we knew that was possible, right? Yeah, it is something that this card is not really a thing in Standard. Imagine the Royal Scions being printed in like, Theros, like what the block after Liliana, like, so one of the if this was one of the early 3-mana Planeswalkers, basically. I wouldn't know, Misak. Oops. Robert is realizing he should have attacked with the Paladin and then untapped it with the Monitor.
For the realm.
Boy, rotten luck on the draws here. Like, what a miserable draw. At this point, I almost... we can't ignore the Scions, though. We're just going to lose to the Paladin if we do. So, I guess we keep cracking at the Scions. Although I don't know if it's even worth it with the pair. It just gets blocked easily, so we'll just make them decide to lose one of their creatures for the adversary if they want, or let Scions go down to 1. Real sad, like, I guess I'm just getting punished for my keep. I can't act all, oh, you're so unlucky. Well, I could have mulliganed this and not risked it, but I risked it, so here we are. Good time zone, Rob. Welcome. And welcome everybody who's showing up, straggling in, driving by, giving a wave.
My answers lie in the cold truth.
Oh no! Well, I'll give him a nice... That's probably going to be a good game. So Tiny isn't the worst here. Shrinking down the paladin might buy us a little bit of extra time, but with no presence in the air against this level of flyers and not drawing well at all, we're basically doomed here. This does have flash, so I could wait on that. Kept a slightly greedy hand and got seriously punished.
Your heart can overcome any challenge.
And I don't think we have the tools in the deck to recover from here. That's the problem. There's just too much going on in the air. We can't control the Royal Scions. I can shrink the Paladin a tiny bit here. But ultimately, we're still on a 2-turn clock. And I don't think we can recover. I may, well, we're gonna find out. Yeah, I can't think of a draw that saves us, so I think we tip the cap to Robert here. Yeah, Charm Sleep, you're a bit late, buddy. Bit late. All right, punished for my greed. It happens sometimes. Put away your never punished emotes. All right, now it's what did we say? Not the Jinx. Toto. Colonel is up after YG. I forget your name. Maybe it was... Good game, Robert. Couldn't beat the Flyers. I sent you a friend request. Did you accept it? Let's try again. Or you can send me one. There we go. That's weird. It usually gives some sort of success. If he didn't mill me, that would have worked out great. If we had had those 3 lands. Whew. I don't know if we were ever going to beat the Fae card, though. We just can't beat an army of 1/1 flyers. Alright, this seems far less greedy to keep, although it's not amazing. This isn't playable. This is a little bit off. This is a ways off. I mean, maybe this is a mulligan. We just have an Innkeeper on 1, and we've got 3 mana, 4 spells, and both of our main colors. I feel like there's some really bad sequences where we draw like nothing but forests or something. But if we draw an island in any other land, we're pretty happy. If we draw some of our green action, we'll be pretty happy. So I'm gonna learn nothing and be greedy again. Hey, there we go. That's all right. That's all right. Ooh, hey, I forgot. Look, we even have these memes and I'm not even using them. Check it out. Perfect draw. Another island lets us go fetch our swamp with the Beanstalk Giant, knowing that we have the 2 blue we need. Indeed, we gave him the clover. Well, if you can distract those towering giants long enough, your little pixies can get the job done, right? Hey, look, a cheap adversary. Something good. Thing is, we don't even want to do it now. I guess we could go adversary charm sleep, but that doesn't seem super exciting. I'm just gonna go with Eleonora here. Try to get our lands for the Beanstalk Giant cast. Is there flash? What am I worried about? Oh, there's like untap adventure. And given that G is in adventure mode, I bet this Curious Pair untaps and eats our keeper, so I'm not gonna attack. Not worth a point for the risk of the untap adventure. Or that. What are we up to next turn? I suppose it depends if we draw a land. If we draw a land, I'll probably just go for the Serpent. But strong argument for setting up Snapper. Actually, if we draw a land, we could argue for Snapper Adversary is our sequence for next turn. That screams, could be the +5/+5. Is it, what is the, it's plus, is the if you eat food pump +5/+5 when food is eaten? There's a pump spell that does that. And then, yeah, we are insatiable appetite. Yeah. We're at 18. We can take it. We're gonna have to block at some point, but I like blocking eventually, maybe with the adversary, like with Death Touch, like that. Yeah, doubling the adventure just does it, right? That's what my read was, the double untap adventure anyway, so it's probably that +4/+4. We could block one of the humans with Eleonora and trade for the +4/+4, but that's not a good enough trade. We're gonna try and race, but awkward is a tough spot to race from potentially. If we don't draw land, we do have Charmed Sleep plus Adversary. And Adversary is an interesting question to ask someone threatening the combat tricks, because if the combat tricks don't get around Death Touch, you at least get to say, yeah, you can use that combat trick, but I'm still getting the trade here. We did not find another land. We can just drop Snapper and Overwhelmed Apprentice, though. And we can put an Apprentice in front of any of this and have them use... I love the Apprentice here for that, because the Apprentice blocks all of these, bounces here, eats here, and says, all right, bring in your telegraphed +4/+4. Oh yeah, we have the black, so we can't play all of that. But then maybe we do. I really want to play the Apprentice, so that's making me think. Then we go Adversary plus Apprentice. Gives us a lot of interesting blocks too. And since we're fearing that untap trick, the other thing we might need to do is just offer Sir Eleonora now. Actually, I think I'm going to do that. I'd rather draw out that trick on offense, although the trouble is they can do it with the Curious Pair and it just eats, right? +4/+4 and Eleonora gets eaten. I'm so convinced that's what GYC has here. I'm going to play around it again. But we need to start doing some blocking to draw it out. And I think the Overwhelmed Apprentice starts doing that. We could also sleep the Curious Pair. Of course, if it's the untap trick, it overrides the sleep, right? So well, we want the land on top, but I'll keep the Curious Pair because we have the Edgewall Innkeeper to turn it into card draw. And it's, again, not bad on this board in terms of forcing our opponent's weenie backed by combat tricks type approach that we're sensing here. Yeah, you can go watch the VOD, D. You'll miss out on calling out any punts I make, though. So now if they send in the big attack, I think I do like just Adversary on Curious Pair and Apprentice on... Oh, another thing we saw is like +X your team or whatever. Anyway, well, we could also just try and leave this to connect back and draw some cards, you know? I think maybe for now, I'm just gonna call the bluff, or, you know, or force the action here on one of the humans. See how this goes. I think taking care of a 3/3 Innkeeper is pretty worthwhile. All right, we drew out the expected Deuter. Boy, we got some grinding to do here with that play, but we have the tools to do the grinding. I'm getting so hasty. I'm going to leave Eleonora back anyway for defense. So I'm going to send in the Adversary to try and get a card or a creature. Leave back the Discerning on D. And now we can do Snapper, Curious Pair for the food, or even just for the play. I think I'm gonna skip the food. I would like 3 life, but I just want a blocker and a card right now. Okay. All right. Good to know they're tapped out. That gives us a lot more clarity about what we can do here. With the Order of Midnight, we can just offer up some of our things like the Snapper. I think I like Paladin to trigger the Snapper, then offer Eleonora, Adversary, and Snapper. send them all with order ready to get something back. That's if we draw a land, but you know, if we don't, in fact, yeah, leaving the black up is good. There's the land. Again, I could have had a larger Eleonora, and there's nothing I can do mid-combat, so I gotta stop doing that. I'm really misplaying around, just lightly, but I'm misplaying around Eleonora, and she'll probably take a chump, and it's not, and we're in a grindy match where that type of little mistake is unlikely to affect the outcome. But again, I'm not about whether or not we got the right outcome. I'm about process, and my process is clearly off here as I keep dumping lands that would make Eleonora bigger onto the table before attacks. That looks correct there. And, you know, we all have a lot of heuristics we use to play Magic quickly enough to not lose every single game on time, and those are really what end up betraying us, because it's the systemic habits of, like, okay, here's how I approach my turn, here's my mechanics of a turn, and those ingrained mechanics of a turn are what betray you in those little decisions sometimes. All right, I'll take all the mana we can get here. Gives us Beanstalk Giant, gives us double draw. Look, I'm not going to play this yet, though. I want to put this out there because we're doing so much with land, but I'm going to remember I actually want to have Sir Eleonora at 5 power. I still think it looks like we have really great attacks here, so I'm going to start there. If they block and kill the Snapper on this attack, it means we don't get an extra card out of the Giant or whatever, but I'm okay with that. Card advantage is not the problem here. Just want to get him, keep the pressure on. It's probably worth it. If I were GY, I think I'd pile on Spider, Squire, and Pair onto the Snapper, although with all this open mana, you know we don't really have anything to do about this, but Oppo does not, so they could be just really nervous about a blowout with a multi-block. But they are going for the multi-block just on this creature instead, and that's good for us. I think we'll take out the 2 and the 3. Or try to. And now I think we have 6 mana for the Serpent, so playing Adversary with Serpent mana up is where I'm going to be. And I'm going to really think about this time and not run this out mid-combat for some block we want, although with Oppo nearly tapping out here probably doesn't matter. But we want to be extra safe and cast the Serpent on their end step. And I don't see any life gain or food stuff. I'm just going to send it all. I think this is lethal, though. Right on. Deck has been humming along. I made a greedy keep with 2 mana, and we stumbled there against a good deck from Robert. But other than that, So far, our deck's been doing just fine. And let's see, who was... Did I have a... Oh, yes, it was Colonel is next. Go. Yeah, I'm immediately actually just enjoying this a lot more than Ikoria, if I'm honest. Yeah, it's more been Simic with Serpent, right? This looks good. Yeah, you got stuck there, G. Sorry. We want the forest. Do we want the visions? We can't cast the visions yet. But if we do, it's probably all right. But I think we actually don't want it right now. That's close. Because there's another land underneath. Certainly visioning here would be good. I want to see... So it looks like aggro, red-green, non-humans. Given the aggro nature of that, I'm going to pass on the vision. I'm not sure we'll have time. But we have nice defensive plays. Because I actively want land. I know it's not a swamp for our order, but I didn't want to get in a spot where we stopped on 3. We do want to. We have a pretty mana hungry deck in the end, so I'm fine with moving on up that way. This thing can get big. Let's go ahead and charm it. Get in for 1. This does trade with it, though. Although, yeah, it even trades. Maybe I shouldn't have charmed that, because we do have the threatened block. There we go. That's the kind of big boy I like to see. And I'm going to go ahead and do this now. Find our swamp. And, oh, I was thinking this came in tapped, or otherwise I would have not let auto tap mess me up. I'm not blaming this on auto tap, though. I literally thought this giant land was going to come in tapped, so we didn't have anything to think about. But it's okay. I could send in the Merfolk, but I'm going to be willing to double block Apprentice and Merfolk on Errant here. Yes, I can't blame Auto Tapper now, because I did think about it. I just didn't say anything because I thought we were going to get a tapped land and that it didn't matter. This could be a blowout, but it's for a couple of creatures I don't really care about. We have an order to get them back if we get blown out, and then we are marching towards this Beanstalk Giant, so... Yeah, we're trading some whatever creatures for a bargain, but it sets us up our ability to actually use this order, so it's all right. All right, now I'm wishing I bottomed the land a little bit, but we didn't know. And also, we still need 7 to get that giant down, so I still don't even, like, hate it. And now... let's order back this Merfolk and play this in the monitor and basically offer the same blocks last time, this time, except for the 1-4 instead of a 1-2. Now, if they send in again, we saw that the first time Colonel made that attack when they had the goods to save the errant. Be interesting to see if they want to offer this trade now again, and if it is a trade, and is this another blowout? I don't know, but we have a giant at the ready, so I'm going to call the bluff again. Keep using up their tools here. Again, I'm fine with this because it's setting up, hopefully, a giant that now has worn them out of this stuff. All right, now let's see if they attack into this, and if so, all right, all right. Yes, this would be a perfect deck for the Garrick spell, so we'll keep that in mind. Edge Wall, good timing. We can play this and draw a card off our order. Well, if it's, and look at, they do have the mana for it. 5 mana sitting here. They drew 3 fresh cards to look at. They pitched some stuff. I guess it wasn't, or pitched the one card that they couldn't cast. If they have +3/+3 non-humans, we still get a dead errant. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold on, Razor. Playing land historically is something I do too quickly. So anyway, if they get 6, we still get the errant, right? Even if they have that. So I'm willing to attack. Oh, and I did forget to play the land then. Sorry, Razor. But it looks like maybe... Oh, yeah, they're chumping anyway. Chumping anyway. I can't win, you know? I try to be disciplined so I don't screw myself up, and then I screw myself up through my attempt at discipline. All right, this is good, though. We can still attack with an 8/8 into this and not lose our dude. I don't know about Cardboard Live. We'll let... the rest of you indicate what's going on there. Yeah, we're getting... Oh, I clicked through too fast again. But again, we have the size. Yeah, Flood ought to be okay, but do I even want to play it? I might want to represent, but I suppose we'll keep playing them. Being a little loose here, Ryan. Tighten it up. Tighten it up. No excuses. So that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's enough to take out the giant, but we get to take 2 of the 3 cards down with it. If we get super lucky and find some interaction, we just kind of win. But let's come on. We got landlorded here. How about some action? 10-10. Ugh. Do we wait? I could just hold, and if we get an 11-11, it kills all 3 of these. Should we wait for a 3-for-1 or continue to apply this pressure? I think I'm going to wait. but I'll keep playing the lands, and I get that they draw a card, but I mean, I don't know what to do about that. Hey, that's nice. Large graveyard means that now we've got a really good attack. Because basically So Tiny lets us reduce the Witch Stalker to nothing. And we want Kara and Stalker to be the primary dead things, with really Red Cap being the third. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I think this is how I want it. Oh yeah, Tiny the Ogre. It would still all do it. Yeah. Good call, those of you who wanted Tiny the Ogre. My heuristic that messed me up there was just shrinking the biggest thing, you know? But we should have Tinied the Ogre. It was, I just didn't do the math on death. You know, I was just like, I was trying to make sure we didn't lose our giant, so I just picked the biggest thing. Oh, okay, so I should have looked. But it sounds like if I had tinied anything else, I would have lost the giant, so there you go. But again, I don't, that's a results thing. The main point is that, again, I didn't think it through, right? I should have actually done that math and come to that conclusion and made a conscious correct decision, not a lucky correct decision. Wow. Now, with them top decking, I'm going to keep making the giant bigger and keep going in the air right now. Yeah, Deacon, that's true. We still could have made it so that the thing left over had no power. Yeah. Deacon has the uber correct line. We have effectively the win here. 9, 11, 12, 13, 9. Yeah, if we do this onto the giant, they can't block it. If this was lethal on the order, we could just do the order, but it's not lethal, so I'm going to just put it on the giant. Ah, tried to do a good game. There we go. Punting our way to victories. It's like the going optimal mantra. Decisions, not results, is the going optimal mantra. All right. I guess I'll take on Flip. Oh, wait. I've already done that. I don't need to do that. I need to just challenge. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I do need to do it again. Yeah, I can do intangible next. Oops. Did that cancel my challenge? Oh, there we go. Ah, no. I clicked the wrong button. Is the challenge still live? No, I think now that's screwed up. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I screwed that up, Tangible. Misclick. Maybe, Razor, maybe. Let's see what YouTube thinks. I want to know if my YouTube friends want to see more Ikoria or more of this kind of stuff. All right. I may skip the food here and just go Innkeeper into Hardcast Curious Pair. Not mess around. For a little bit of life. Although, with Gingerbrute, maybe I do need some life. Well, that's interesting. Because now we have Broom on 2. We don't have 3 green, unfortunately. We only have 1 green per turn right now. So I'm going to spend 1 green per turn accordingly. Although what we could do is Curious Pair now. Next turn, Innkeeper, Broom. Or next turn, Broom. And then, no, but that's the problem. Like, if I want to... yeah, I can't do it unless... If we had 2 green, I could do it. But as it is, I'm going to go Innkeeper into Curious Pair and skip the Treats to Share. I suppose if we draw a green, then we could go Sorcerer's Broom and try to do Curious Pair draw on turn 3. So we'll see. If we draw Forest, we'll reconsider. No activation of Evasion, because they'd be happy to take the trade for sure. Oh no! Love-struck Beast! Got to charm that beast to sleep. Wow, look at this constructed deck that Intangible has here. Yeah, I'm just gonna draw a card. If we play a swamp next turn, we can't play Snapper on curve. So if we draw any other land, we're going to play that over the swamp in hopes that we can find 2 lands on top to find Snapper on curve. What?
Revel with your king, wild and sovereign, and it's not.
That is Once Upon a Time by Air. Intangible clearly had the right seat. What do we do about this? I guess we... Do we have to charm the human just to get 2 knocks on Oko? I can't imagine winning is what I meant by that. Yeah, Oko's just stupid and absurd. I'm going to save the Innkeeper, not do the Charmed Sleep, and instead go Apprentice Broom here. Oko is just not a really a particularly beatable card. It's just not. It's frustrating. It's a bad Magic design. I mean, I'm used to seeing you win the game effectively printed on 7 drops, just not on 3 drops.
Surely you see the humor here.
No, not really, Oko. I'm more with the Love-Struck Beast. Yeah, I'm bottoming Tomb Raider because I want to find blue-green mana. There's some. Also, none of it matters. Like, we can't beat Oko. We're gonna lose to Oko. Now we charm the Beast and still have no attacks because Oko. Yeah, never mind. I'll snap. It's and like the reason why Oko is such a bad design is because I don't even like. I'm supposed to just scoop now. Like I don't know what even to like. I'm scooping. This is sorry, Intangible. I hope you didn't want to just like romp, but we don't have out. We can't beat that. There is no beating that. We're done.
All right, everyone, chill.
Oko on 3 is not beatable in this format without some very specific cards. And we're just not beating that. We're never beating that. All right, 4 and 2 with 1 more to go. Yeah, Murderous Rider is one of your only outs, right? That's what I mean. So, I believe we have fellow streamer left, but I don't. So far, not accepting my friend requests. I see how it is. Somebody go bug Flipperoo. I'll try another request, a fresh request. Ah, it happens. Again, that we got 7 is great. If somebody else just for a 7th game wants to hop in with a Eldraine deck they have saved, I don't know if people were saving. I don't remember when saved draft decks were introduced. But if anybody has a saved draft deck, we could do it. Yeah, we could do a rematch. Not Intangible though. Yeah. F rematching Intangible. Oh, you want? Should I rematch Intangible? Okay, here. There, I did it. Whew, that was a tight one. Darn it. All right, I'll play him one more time. One more time. Darn it. Just like that. Picked up 2 more losses. Well, we are at 11:55. I can also just call it. I guess I'm going to give. I'll take any challenger with from this event. We can even do. I'll play again Intangible. That's fine. I'll get my ass beat again by Rare.deck if nobody else is ready. GY would play again. Let's give GY another chance. If you're okay with that, Intangible. I'll challenge. Except now I can't remember what your online name was. You have to jump back on. There we go. Yeah, I want to do that. Where'd it go? There you go. All right, one more game, then I'm going to let you all go today. I'm going to get my daughter to downtown Seattle for some peaceful protest. Police reform now. All right, let's keep this. Could have started with Apprentice since we didn't have a target. I'm just kind of throwing out 1-drops. So also, complete aside, anybody who cares about my starting soon song of the day stuff, on the one hand, my theme this week is super obvious because every song so far has been the noun, right? It's definitely the noun theme. I did come up with a sub-theme to the noun theme, but it requires me moving. I need to move The Barrel by Aldous Harding to Friday. And so tomorrow I'm going to play a song, but in the order that I'm going to put it on in my playlist, I'm going to put Aldous Harding on Friday, even though technically I played her on Monday. I guess let me Apprentice first and then figure it out. Ooh, go away. What a scry. Don't have much to break through with here. But neither does Oppo, so hopefully our top end will win the day. We know about the +5/+5 potential, but I honestly don't care if they want to use that to get rid of a quarter monitor. Let's encourage that. And we could so tiny depending on to save. All right, sad to do nothing on turn 4, but maybe this Sage will get us going. Always loot. I'm going to say, well, we probably have attacks. This is probably just to eat food, but there's enough. Again, we saw the adventure untapped stuff. We're just going to say no attacks. Yeah, exactly, right, Deacon? There's almost nothing, no resource, unless the resource used, like, was a cantrip and drew a card. There's almost no resource that could be used to kill the monitor that would make me feel like, we got the worst of that, you know? It'd be fine. All right. Snapper seems all right. Drop that and do some more looting. Witch Stalker... more valuable than removal? I think we discard Tiny, yeah. Scare your opponents by looting away removal. It does say something about our hand, right? It's pretty unlikely we'd ship into So Tiny without some other interaction. So they kind of know we have interaction now. Now we have a 2 spell if we want to Charm and Broom. We could also Broom to loot. We could also Witch Stalker to loot. If we sleep the 2/4, we have some reasonable attacks. Although again, I think it's into the combat tricks. Yeah, Tiny being instant is no joke. I think I'm going to start on Broom. Do another loot. And this doesn't have flash. Let's go ahead and knock something down here. We just have to play around the Squire, though. The Squire is a known thing. So maybe playing this... I feel like I got to run these out at some point, but... it feels very Squire-y. I kind of want to just go to play a long game here and get to our Serpent. Unicorn probably coming down here, though. Might as well show us the card we already know about, right? Curious Pair could make some food, and we're 1 short on getting Broom value out of a eaten food. I think we just Witch Stalker here. We can Witch Stalker and Curious and make the food from Curious Pair. Just keep getting wide, I guess, and keep looting. Might loot away the Curious Pair. Return to nature. They're not showing us anything to affect with that right now, so we're going to send it away. And of course, by sending it away, we ensure that an incredible artifact or enchantment is going to show very shortly. That's how that works. Hey, Rob. No, as you can see from the info there on the bottom of the screen, we are Eldraining against chat around these parts. Way to go, Intangible. Pack one, pick one, Oko. Man, I got into green-blue in a draft where somebody else first picked Oko. Good work, Ryan. Solid, solid. And we're chumping if we block, so we're just going to take 4 here. All right, I'm going to remember that Beanstalk Giant produces an untapped land when we get it. So if we Beanstalk Giant our swamp, we could have 3 mana. That could be for Charmed Sleep or for a Curious Pair play. Charmed Sleep would be pretty good here. So let's go tap all of our green sources to find the swamp. Oh, did I miss a block? Yeah, I guess it was... I didn't want to risk the Sage, but we could have risked it. I don't think they had anything. You're right, I should have just chumped it. Or bounced it. But this is good. Also because I'm worried about that combat trick. Alright, I'm okay with that too. It does set us up to be able to do some attacking here is the thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They could put everything on the Sage and we would lose the Sage. I don't think I want to lose the Sage, but I will send the Witch Stalker to offer... they have to put at least a token and the 2/2, and I would trade token and a 2/2 to help clear this board a little. Maybe I'm not even supposed to trade off the Witch Stalker here, but I guess with Giant, I do want to trim away their ability to gang block. So trading Witch Stalker for a couple of tokens here seems weak, and I have my reasons, right? We're trying to clear the board for our eventual huge stuff. What was that? Let's see. Bone Crusher, right. Yes. Okay. Well, let's get Giant. This is in my hand, is it, right? So if we draw a card, we are just self-milling. Is there a reason to self-mill? We do have some... We have Graveyard Dude, and our Rare Bomb can be recovered from the graveyard. So yeah, we do want to self-mill. Wasn't even just a joke. That was a legit strategic decision on whether we needed to self-mill there or not. Because, you know, decking is enough of a concern that you don't want to do it unless there's a good reason. In this deck. Most decks you don't have to worry about that and you can just whatever, but... Boo earns... I'm gonna save the black because if we find the splash, that flyer, we are going to want to get that. Of course, we find a Merfolk instead, but I was looking to prepare for the ability to get something from the graveyard back. And we still have the Curious Pair to play anyway. not bad on this board. And unfortunately, our ability to get rid of this enchantment is now gone. But you can see why this is a main deckable card. There's a lot of enchantment removal going on in this set, and we can always do that too. With 7, we could just hard cast this. If we don't hard cast this and we do the Fertile Footsteps, we're basically taking a turn off to thin our library a little bit. And I think I'm just gonna toss the big boy out there. It's just, actually we have time though. Like, it's not attacking into this. Really, this game is gonna come down to whether our serpent, we can find our serpent and it lives. So I am gonna go ahead and get some more mana and then play this guy next turn. That would have been an okay one to keep. I could have maybe kept this a 7/7 and had the paladin instead. That would be better. So I'll think about that. Like, there's this tension between making our potential giants bigger and having lands to loot. And I think mostly we want to have lands to loot at this point. Like, we don't an 8/8 is not going to get too much better with more lands, whereas looting away lands for action is good times. Gotta send a message at all times. So again, so we can hold this, but I'd rather just cast this and loot, and then loot that away. So I'm gonna do that here as a starting point. And now we question whether we play this one. I'm gonna hold, because we're not attacking with the giant right now anyway. If we find a non-human creature, I'm going to want to play it and potentially loot away the forest. But if not, then we can decide if we want to play the forest. But where is that serpent? All of this doesn't matter if the serpent is findable. Okay, here we go. 9 cards left. We're going to scry ourselves a river and find this darn serpent. There's the serpent, and put land on the bottom. I think we have enough islands now for that to get done. Maybe I need to keep the... Yeah, spore cap spider means the flyer's not a big thing anyway either. Order. You're out of order. Well, I can decline. I can just not loot. And at six, it's really, again, just comes down to the old serpent here. What could we get back with order that helps most with the serpent? I mean, really, we just want the paladin, I guess. I'm not even... I just want the giant... Like, sending in the giant... This is not the plan. We have one plan. There's one plan. This serpent attacks 4 times. And we barely have the tools to get there. But I can play land now. Get some life if we need it. Yeah, exactly. It's just serpent. Serpent gets there, or serpent is answered. That is how this resolves, I think. The only other way it could resolve is if G does something incredible that tidies up our board enough for them to start attacking, but that seems less likely. Yeah, I should have just bottomed this because I'm not going to cast it. We're tight enough on turns that we can't afford to. We have 4, 5, 8, 9, 10 mana. We can play the order, though. So I'm going to play the order. And no, I can't because we only have 1 black, so never mind. I guess we're just waiting. Like, if this works out, I think we win with 1 or 0 cards in library. Yeah, 0 cards, because we'll be attacking with an empty library, I believe, for the win. That's assuming no more food over here. Another way that G can get there, potentially, is gaining a little bit more life. We may be able to overcome that with enough go wide, but we really don't have it. I mean, they have the blocks on, like, everything else except our unblockables. Man, I like G's deck a lot. Clover, Innkeeper, good white-green adventures. We have enough food that we should be able to withstand this type of pressure, though. You sit back down, unicorn. This is looting, so we have to decline now. And I'll go ahead and eat another food. Does that shortens the clock, so that's good. Let's do that. Wait. Well, I haven't sent it yet. What do you want to do with it? Do you see a better... I mean, this is unblockable. I just figure putting it on the unblockable is what we want to do. But Paladin just gets blocked. Why we put it on the... You want to play this? Yeah, but I'm not going to cast the... Are we going to... I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying now. Are we going to cast that? I thought I was going to follow up with this. So, that's what I was thinking. Except we need to activate the serpent still. Okay, that's fair. I'm down. I see what you're saying now. So we leave 3 blue. We do it this way. What am I even doing? Hold on. Back it all up. This. Lets us do it all, right? Yes. Ah.
All right.
We do have a shortened clock now, but it's not worth risking. Whoa. Pretty big, but I still think we're on the right track. Nothing to do here but get in with our dude again. Yeah, Snapper could have been a problem. And if our serpent dies, having mana up to do the thing isn't relevant, so let's go ahead and play another big boy. Exploding Fibblethip. Uh-oh. Dead us. Nice. That was an excellent game. Came down to the last turn. We were going to untap and get him, but instead, Clover splits it and gets us. Good game to finish on. That was fun. And I can say that because I'm with you all. If I'm alone in the house, I scare the dog and curse when I lose like that. But that was just tight play, and we came down to it, man. You're just lucky that serpent wasn't a little bit higher in the deck, G. A little bit higher in the deck, that serpent gets you. But it was hiding at the bottom. Well done, though. Way to find the line. All right, I'm going to hop to soapbox here. I am going to... Oh, I didn't hold the serpent forever. Oh, that's your serpent. Yes, my serpent was not in my opener. Funny. Anyway, thank you so much, YouTube friends, for hanging out. Please, if you made it this far in the comments, let me know at these types of times. You know, are you tired of Ikoria? Is bringing back some old favorites and doing all human drafts with chat like we did here with Eldraine more intriguing to you than more Ikoria? I'd like to know, because I want to make the content you all want to consume. So please let me know, YouTubers, my YouTube friends, what you'd like to see in the future for the next few weeks on what you want to see in these videos. Are we done with Ikoria? We can. I had a great time today. That was a lot of fun. I said I have not really human drafted Eldraine all that much. I spent most of my time on Eldraine on Arena, and therefore this is some of my really early-ish human drafting in the format, and I thought it was great. So that was fun. Let me know what you like, and we'll catch you the next draft regardless, YouTube buddies. See ya.